It was the year 1025. From Afghanistan, covering almost 1,000 miles, a looter was marching towards Gujarat with an army of 30,000 soldiers. But the moment he reached the sanctum of this ancient temple, what he saw was beyond his imagination. A white shivling floating in the air without any support, no rope, no base, no trick. Was it a miracle or was it some hidden Asian knowledge of India? At that time, more than 1,000 Brahmins were busy in rituals and chants, and lack of devotees were lost in devotion. But with just one command, that army of 30,000 attacked the temple. Around 500 of devotees were killed and a treasure worth 20 million dinars were looted. It was carried on camel and taken back to Afghanistan. In today's value, this treasure would be almost 100 crore rupees. But the story does not end here. The temple was not destroyed only once, but 17 times. And every time it was rebuilt with the same way. Some broken pieces of that shivling were again discovered in this year 2025. And even today, they are still floating in the air. Seeing them will blow your mind. But now one question must be arising in your heart. Who built the first Somnath temple and how Asian is it really? So, in the year 2020, when IIT Gandhinagar, an archaeological department, did an analysis using a ground-penetrating radar, a 3-story underground structure was found. It had staircases, doors, secret chamber. Were these remains of a Satyug temple or some evidence of an Asian civilization that is still beyond our time and science? There is also mention of a mysterious gem called Syamantak Mani, which is connected to Lord Krishna. It is believed that when Krishna established the Somnath temple, he placed this mani inside the shivling. The gem was said to produce around 77 kilos of gold every single day. So is this mani still hidden inside the sanctum of the temple, or has it already fallen into someone else's hand? Just imagine, thousands of years ago, when there was no satellite, no GPS technology, even then on the seashore a pillar was installed, and on that pillar it was inscribed that from here a straight line goes till the South Pole, and on this line there is neither a mountain nor any land, only the vast ocean. Even today, this mystery of geographers, how people in those times could have such accurate geographical knowledge. Somnath temple faced 17 attacks. There was endless effort to erase it from existence. But every single time the temple came back again, shining with even more power. Why? Because it was not just a structure of stones, it was the immortal consciousness of Sanatan Dharma. It was a rebirth. It was not a revenge, but the symbol of eternal truth. This is the story of India's first Jyotirling, Somnath. We want to keep the Asian knowledge of India alive through stories like this. Many people mock Indian knowledge and call it useless, but we are not among them. We want to connect you with our culture. And if you want to support us in this mission, please click on the subscribe button. It will help us to keep our history alive. The journey of Somnath temple began in Satyug, the era when God and demons both lived in the heaven together. At that time, Chandra Dev, the moon god, was famous for his beauty and glow. The story described in Skanda Puran and Rig Veda is directly connected with the origin of the Somnath temple. So let us enter this divine journey and see how the story of Chandra Dev gave birth to the first Jyotirling of India. Daksh Prajapati was a great and a powerful king. He had 27 beautiful daughters and he named them after the 27 constellation. Daksh wanted all his daughters to live happily, so he got them married to Chandra Dev, the moon god. Chandra was extremely handsome and charming. His glow was so bright that the whole sky would lit up. After marriage, all 27 wives started living with him. But Chandra's love was fixed only for one, Rohini, his most beloved and a beautiful wife. Slowly, Chandra began to ignore the other 26 wives. He spent all his time with Rohini, which made the others sad and obviously jealous. They went to their father, Daksh, and complained, "Father, Chandra does not love us. He only stays with Rohini. Daksh first tried to convince Chandra, but when nothing changed, he became angry and cursed him. Your glow will fade day by day, and in the end, you will become lifeless. The curse began to work. Chandra's glow started fading, his body became weak, and his beauty disappeared. This change worried the gods, sages, and even the people of earth. Because the moon was important for medicines, for the waves of the oceans, and for the movement of the stars. Everyone then went to Brahmaji for guidance. Brahma said, Chandra must go to the Prabhas Tirth on earth and worship Lord Shiva. Chandra immediately come to Prabhas, which is today Somnath. On the shore, he established a shivling and started deep penance, chanting Om Namah Shiva. And again, pleased with his devotion, Lord Shiva appeared before him. Shiva said, I am happy with your prayers. I free you from Daksh curse. But this curse is very powerful, so it cannot be completely removed. That is why your glow will decrease for 15 days and then increase again for the next 15 days. And this is why even today we see the moon decreasing in Krishna Paksha and increasing in Shukla Paksha. Chandra then asked for another blessing, Lord, please always reside inside this shivling. Lord Shiva agreed. From that moment, this shivling became famous as Somnath, the Lord of the Moon. With Shiva's blessing, Chandra built the first grand temple of Somnath in gold. The temple became the first Jyotirling of India and a great center of devotion for countless people. But the story of Somnath goes even deeper. According to Skanda Puran, Bhagavad Puran and Shiv Puran, this temple was not built only once, but in every age in different forms. In Satyug, Chandra built it with gold, and it was said that the glow of that temple spread till heaven. In Treta Yuga, Ravan, who was a great devotee of Shiva, built it with silver. In Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna himself built it with sandalwood. But then the question arises, where did those golden and silver temples go? Are these just myth, or is there hidden truth behind them? Could the remains of those temples still be lying somewhere under the present temple? So in the year 2017, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended a meeting of the Somnath Temple Trust, he suggested a detailed archaeological study in the Prabhas Patan and Somnath area. Based on this suggestion, the important work was given to the Archaeological Science Center of IIT Gandhinagar in 2020 under the guidance of the expert from IIT Gandhinagar. An advanced machine costing more than ₹1 crore was installed here. With its help, research was done at 4 different places. Metal detector was used and ground penetrating radar was carried out from 2 to 12 meters deep. From the vibration signal of the soil, experts prepared their report. It was found that beneath the Somnath temple, there is a 3-story underground structure. The first level was at 2 meters, the second at 5 meters, and the third at 7 meters depth. Right under the present security check area, an L-shaped structure was found with staircases, door, and a hidden chamber. So could these really be the remains of the first temple built in Satyug, or is this just a story? Tell us your opinion in the comment and let's see whose comment comes out the best. Somnath temple was so rich and grand that its fame had reached even foreign lands, and one ruler of Afghanistan was preparing to loot this temple. This looter was none other than Mahmud Ghazni. On 18th October 1025, Muhammad started his Somnath campaign from Ghazni with 30,000 soldiers. For food and water, he carried 20,000 camels and nearly 5,000 servants. Instead of taking the easy route of the Ganga-Yamuna plains, he chose the deadly Thar desert. This itself shows how determined and cruel he was. On the morning of 6th January 1026, Muhammad's armies had already set camp outside the walls of Somnath temple. To defend the temple, thousands of Hindu warriors stood ready. A fierce battle went on for 3 days. Nearly 500 Hindu defenders gave their lives. Finally, Mahmud entered the sanctum of the temple. As soon as his soldiers stepped inside, they screamed in fear and ran back. They had seen the white shivling floating in the air without any support. For them, it was nothing less than a miracle. Mahmud himself went inside and was shocked to see the floating shivling. Some soldiers called it divine power. Some said it was a trick. The one soldier threw his sword upward and it stuck to the ceiling. It was then discovered that the dome of the temple was made of lot stone, powerful magnetic stone, and the shivling was made of iron. Because of this magnetic field, the shivling stayed suspended in the air. This was a brilliant example of ancient Indian science and architecture which Mahmud army could not understand. Mahmud ordered, remove the lodestone. As each stone was taken out, the balance was disturbed. At last, the sacred shivling fell to the ground. The priest begged Mahmud, if you want well, take it, but do not destroy our god. Muhammad laughed loudly and said, I'm not a trader of idols. I am a destroyer of idols. I want to be remembered in history as a breaker of gods. He then struck the shivling with an axe and broke it into pieces. The first piece was embedded in the steps of the Jama Masjid in Ghazni, so that every namazi would step on it. Some pieces were sent to Mecca and Medina, where they were buried in the floors of mosque as a sign of victory. But some small pieces were secretly hidden by Brahmins who knew that this was not just stone but the very soul of the Sanatan Dharma. Now the question comes, 1,000 years ago when there was no modern technology, no science, as we know today, how was this shivling floating in air? This mystery we will explore in detail further.